Hey guys, how you doing? It's Finn from New Energy 21. I hope you're all doing all right. I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you're all enjoying a little more freedom after being under house arrest. We do seem to be giving more of a break at the moment for whatever reason. I don't know how long that's going to last. We'll just have to wait and see. What I would encourage you all to do though is self-development work. And no matter what you're into, whether it's meditation, nutrition, grounding, trauma release, whatever it is that's going to make you come back to your true self and hopefully fulfill your true purpose of being here. Start the journey. Don't be perfectionist about it. Just you know what you're meant to be doing. You know where your weaknesses lie. Try and heal yourself as much as possible at the moment and during this period. I know it's hard for a lot, financially, stress, worry, but we kind of seem to be going through something which is rather large in our society at the moment. And so self-development work really is key to every single one of us. If you're ever interested in what I do, I'm all about self-development. Myself and my clients, we're a big group and we help one another in every aspect of self-development. So if you're ever interested in what I do, check me out below. There's a lot of hair analysis, a lot of development work, and many other things. So what I want to talk to you today about is something which is rife in our society, something which I still suffer from. I know my colleagues do as well. But I see this pattern a lot on hair analysis, and it's sympathetic dominant. And so sympathetic dominance means that your nervous system is going way too fast, and frankly you haven't got the energy for it. And so it's almost like a tired and wired feeling of where you can't stop your mind and you can't stop fast movement, even though you don't have the energy. And so with a hair analysis test, it always manifests as a low potassium, which is a direct reflection of the amount of cortisol that's allowed to be released into your system. And also a reflection of your thyroid gland and how it's being beaten down, even though it hasn't got the energy to do the tasks you're asking it to. It's just struggling to keep up. And so how do you manifest it? How do you get sympathetic dominant? Well, there's many ways, but I'm going to cover the main ones for you, and so you can hopefully look to counter these factors and become less sympathetic dominant, and so you can allow your body to heal. Because while you're in sympathetic dominance, you can't heal your body. So the first aspect of what is making a lot of us sympathetic dominant is mobile technology and Emfs. We're watching too much news, we're taking on negative media, we're doing far too much social media, and the EMFs are stimulating our nervous system further and putting us into sympathetic dominant. So the first one I would say is control your mobile usage. The second factor to sympathetic dominance, which is quite easy to control, is your diet. And so sugar and caffeine are going to put you directly into sympathetic dominant. And it's quite tempting to reach for these food and beverages if you don't have any energy. And so if you want a quick shot of caffeine to kind of buzz you up, does your system no good, because your mind starts twirling, you start rushing about and you don't have the energy for it. So stay away from refined sugar, which does the same thing, and caffeine. Now the next factor to being sympathetic dominant is fatigue. So if you're not sleeping correctly and you can control that, I would certainly do so. So get to bed earlier and sleep for longer and rest more in the day, because when we're tired, our mind seems to race, especially if we get insomnia, especially if we get the less amount of sleep that's recommended for us, which I would say is 7 to 8 hours for most people. Our brain and nervous system is going to be overactive. So get more sleep, get more rest. The next one is fear. If we have a lot of fear within our system, fear, especially survival fear, or whatever, it might be social fear, that activates our nervous system. So guys, we have to be looking at a way we can deal with fear. Fear that's unique to us. What are we not dealing with? What are we too afraid to look at? look into trauma release and look at to releasing fear. You can also look into simple mindfulness, which can just let the fear rise and fall. Mindfulness also has a way of dissolving the fear if we just pay attention to it. You don't have to do anything more than that. And so being mindful of the emotions, letting the ego rise and fall with fear is really, really valuable. And so a big part of development is processing those hidden traumas that are stored in our body and basically activate our mind and then activate our nervous system if we think we're under threat. So dealing with fear is a really, really big one. The next one is not so obvious, and which could very much cause sympathetic dominant and an overactive mind, is toxic metals. So toxic metals such as, toxic minerals such as copper, iron and manganese keep our body and brain stimulated. Not many people talk about copper, iron and manganese, and so usually they talk about heavy metals like aluminium, arsenic, lead, aluminium and that sort of thing, but really the toxic minerals as well can really cause a system to be stimulated and put us much more susceptible to being sympathetic dominant. And so start to detox, start to do what you can. Don't push yourself, but get in a sauna, look into coffee enemas, look into what will suit your body chemistry. Give these things a go. Again, everything I'm telling you, I run programs for. So if you're interested, let me know. And the next one, again, it's not so obvious, but it's related to the toxic metals, is mineral deficiency. So toxic metals and toxic oxidant minerals will block minerals such as magnesium and zinc, which have a very calming effect on our body and our nervous system. So again, detoxing is a great thing to do, but taking vitamin supplements and taking the right ones for your body chemistry. Again, this is what we do at New Energy 21. We can take a hair analysis and we can look at what you're deficient in. So those are basically the main reasons for sympathetic dominance. I think there's a lot of it out there at the moment, just from what's been going on. People are much more scared. People are fearful. They're running about, a lot of survival fear. Parents have been at home with their children. I didn't include children as on my list of what causes sympathetic dominance because I thought that was a bit cruel. It's always up to the adult how they communicate as a parent. But, you know, being at home under house arrest with lots of screens and children is enough to, believe me, I did 13 weeks of it, to kind of kick you into that sympathetic dominant mode where you're rushing about. It's like the old phrase, if you want something done, ask a busy person. Well, that's kind of what I felt like with my partner for the last 13, 14 weeks. And so they're the main reasons for it. So how do you counter it? Well, I've suggested a lot of things anyway to do with diet, to do with minerals, to do with detox and that sort of thing. But basically, I think really you need to be off your smartphone a lot more. You need to have less interaction with things like YouTube. I know you're watching a YouTube video, but this is a development video, so it's good for you. There's a lot of content out there which is scary, which is frightening. There's nothing wrong with educating yourself about what's going on with the world at the moment, but limit your exposure because that will push your nervous system and affect you subconsciously. So watch your media coverage, stay away from too many screens, limit and reduce your smartphone exposure. Simply, we can take more breaths, and so 10 deep breaths an hour can really help. Or if we're feeling really unbalanced, we can go and we can sit and we can just breathe for as long as we want to into the abdomen, hold and breathe out again. That's really, really powerful in turning yourself off. Little exercises from yoga and qigong can really help. I love this one. To ground myself. Spend more time in nature, get your feet on the floor, do some gardening, get your hands in the soil, sit under a tree, start a fire, be around nature. All of this is turning off your nervous system. Trauma release, I've already mentioned, looking into fear and that sort of thing is really, really good for you. But also, if you find yourself too busy and you're a yes person, then say no to people. Say no, I can't do that because I'm too busy. I think we fall into the category, me included, I'm a Pisces. I give myself away in every direction. And I do see sympathetic dominant pattern more than I'd like to on my hair tests. And so I know my nature. I know what I'm like, and I have to be really careful and say no. Even if I think I'm offending someone, it's much more important that you look after yourself. Look after yourself. Because if your body's unhealthy, your spirit's going to be struggling and it can't communicate with you about your true purpose here, or even simple intuition about making decisions and getting that right. So that's pretty much about it. I mean, sleep, supplements, and diet are the obvious ones also to turn off your nervous system. Having more fats in your diet can really slow down the nervous system, and not a lot of people know that. If you find yourself really, really anxious and really, really in that fast oxidation, sympathetic dominant, have more fat. Add more fat like cold pressed olive oil or fatty meats to your diet, even sardines, things like that, which are nutrient rich. They will turn off your nervous system because your liver has to process the fats that basically slows you down. So guys, I hope you find that really helpful. It's helpful for me to go through this as well because, you know, I forget a lot of the time and I'm a busy guy. And I own two small micro businesses, but I'm a busy dad as well. I also get myself into trouble with cryptocurrency trading, which is sympathetic dominant nightmare. And so I struggle with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. So I'm communicating to you what I need to do and what you need to do as well. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Lots of love from the bottom of my heart to every single one of you at the moment. I know that we've all been through something big. We need to stick together. If you want to join my tribe, let me know. My website's below. If you want to get involved with what I'm doing, do it. The programs can be very rewarding and you get to meet some really cool people in the form of my other clients through WhatsApp groups if you want to join them as well. Okay, guys, love to you all. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.